Okay, so Harbaugh is now a New York Football Giant. Falcons fans, welcome into Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. I'm actually not too upset about this news. Am I a little disappointed? Of course. But I do believe that in my heart of hearts, I'm not so upset about this because I do believe the Falcons have an opportunity now to go out and get a guy that can completely change the fabric of their offense. Now, again, Harbaugh becomes the 24th head coach in New York Giants history. He kind of feels like a Giant the more and more I think about it. Sure, did I want John Harbaugh? Absolutely. I am not going to sit here and blow smoke like the last 4 episodes weren't me talking about how much I wanted John Harbaugh, because if you look at everything that he's done in his tenure as the Ravens head coach, yes, he is a fantastic head coach. There's no doubt about it. And in 18 seasons, man, the success continues to pile on. He's the only NFL head coach to win at least one playoff game in 6 of his first 7 seasons, man. Like, he's excellent. He's excellent. But as much as I wanted him, reading all of the reports that I read, excuse me, I was almost kind of banking on him being a New York Football Giant, because all the reports yesterday from not only guys like Connor Hughes, but Ricky Scoops, the People's Insider, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, I mean, it just kept going on and on and on that Harbaugh was going to be a Giant. So I kind of braced myself for that. And now is no time to sulk, because the pivoting, in my opinion, is not going from Harbaugh to everybody else. It's 1 to 1A. And that guy, of course, is Klint Kubiak. And we're going to break this down here in just a moment. But before we do that, I got to tell you guys, you've been excellent when you've been hitting that subscribe button. We are this close to 50,000. And I want to hit 50K by the time the Atlanta Falcons' next head coach is named, which could be as early as Monday morning. So if you want daily Atlanta Falcons content, if you want nonstop Atlanta Falcons news, rumors, anytime we go live, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. Go get Klint Kubiak right now. Right now. I'm no longer on the Kevin Stefanski train. Not that I really was. I think he's a good coach. He's not a great coach. I think Kubiak has the potential to be a great coach. Great. Great. Pencil it in. Write it in with pen. And then this came out just yesterday morning. Actually, yesterday evening, I should say. Multiple people, according to Chad Forbes, believe Matt Ryan will hire Klint Kubiak as the next Falcons head coach, with ties to Shanahan and the perfect offense for Penix. So I will say that I've checked Chad Forbes' predictions before. He's a little spotty. He's been right about some things. He's been wrong on some other ones, which I feel like everybody has a tendency to do. So I'm not going to hold my breath. But this, to me, feels like forward momentum in the idea that the Falcons are all in on Klint Kubiak. In fact, if you look at the next head coaching odds from Bet Online, the Giants locked in John Harbaugh. The Titans are pretty much going with Matt Nagy. The Dolphins like Jeff Hafley. And then look at that. The Falcons with Klint Kubiak. The next head coaching odds from Bet Online believe that the Falcons are going to go with Klint. And if you want to see what a real NFL offense looks like, if you just go watch any Seahawks game, watch any tape, any highlight from this year's Seattle Seahawks team, Kubiak is your guy. I think he is perfect for Atlanta. And if you really want to develop Penix, if he looks at Michael Penix and says, I can mold that, I can work with that, then by God, go get him. Sign that man to a 4-year extension or a 3-year deal right now and just ride into 2026 with the hopes and dreams of every Falcons fans riding on your back. But I want to do a little bit more of a deep dive on Klint Kubiak, because I feel like I've just been kind of spouting why I think he's good, but there are some statistical points that you need to know that back this claim up. Kubiak took a unit that finished in 2024 under Ryan Grubb, ranked 18th in scoring and 14th in yardage, which is not terrible, but it's not great, and immediately turned them into an elite group. Kubiak had them finish the 2025 regular season campaign ranked 3rd in points per game and 8th in yards. Kubiak's best work was at the quarterback position, where he helped maximize the good things that Sam Darnold was able to do on the field, like his big playmaking ability, and minimized his weaknesses, which is his turnover-prone ability. And in the first half of the season, Darnold was a legitimate MVP candidate before defenses switched up on him, leading to a slew of turnovers. But that's always been baked in as part of Sam Darnold's game. He's going to throw some picks. He's a gunslinger. But what you do get from Sam is ultimate production. He's almost like what Jameis Winston should have been, if that makes sense, in a way. Sam Darnold's first half numbers, by the way, are far better than his second half numbers. If you just go back and break it down from half to half, Sam Darnold on script is excellent in Klint Kubiak's offense. And then when he goes off script, tries to do a little bit too much. But as everybody always says, and everybody knows, the first half is always the on-half script. That is the coaching script. That is Klint Kubiak's offense working in perfect time. And still, despite all of the errors made at the back half of the season, the Seahawks are still the number 1 overall seed in the NFL. So, we can't really be too upset about what Klint Kubiak has done in Seattle, because he's been outstanding. So I'm typing my H, I'm stamping my H, I'm typing my H. I'm doing whatever I can with my H, because it's a higher for 100% certainty. This is Moose putting all of his eggs in the Klint Kubiak basket. But if you don't want him, type your P for pass. I don't know why you wouldn't, because I think over him or Kevin Stefanski, it's not close. The greatness level and the greatness meter is all-time high for Klint Kubiak with his potential. I think we kind of know what Kevin Stefanski is. So either way, put that in the comments and description, down in the comment section down below. Coming up next, just a little reprieve from the seriousness of all this head coaching stuff. I do want to give you a hilarious Zac Robinson update, because his 15 minutes left with the Atlanta Falcons is out the window. He's going to be somewhere else for sure. Before we do that, I got to tell you about my friends over at Harry's. The hairiest guy you know, kind of talking about Harry's. I mean, it just kind of makes perfect sense. My back right now, dude, don't even look at it. It's hysterical. It looks like a rug. But I will tell you this. When I trust my personal grooming habits, it's 100% with my friends over at Harry's. Now, let me tell you about what they've got going on right now. Did your old razor dull way too quickly? Did it irritate your neck? And did it cost way too much for refills? $30? Come on. You can get that for a fraction of the cost with Harry's. Harry's Plus is Harry's heaviest razor handle ever, made from metal, never plastic. Designed to fit comfortably in your hand, heavier handle means more control and a luxe feel. Harry's doesn't make razors, though. They have a full line of grooming essentials, from shave gel to deodorant to body wash, all thoughtfully made and priced up to stock. All of Harry's blades, by the way, and grooming products can be delivered right to your door. So set your preferred schedule and never run out of blades again. And for a limited time, our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/chat. This set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, one refined 5-blade cartridge, a 2-ounce foaming shave gel, and a travel cover to protect your blades on the go. Just head on over to harrys.com/chat to claim this offer, and after you purchase, they're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about them? Please support our show and tell them that Moose from Falcons Today sent you. Rap sheet. When he says something, we listen. Former Falcons OC Zac Robinson is flying to Detroit to interview for the vacant Lions OC job. Oh, my days. Dude. Good luck, Detroit, if you bring in Zac Robinson. In fact, I don't know why this guy is even getting interview jobs for offensive coordinator positions in the NFL. He needs to go back to college. What he does can work in college. It cannot work in the NFL. It just doesn't. It does not work. But notably, he's had interviews with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that seems to be like, the odds-on favorite to land him. And then, of course, the Detroit Lions as well. They've just, obviously, based off of Rappaport's stuff, they've requested to interview him and will interview him for their vacancy at offensive coordinator. Both of these offenses will get instantly worse if they hire Zac Robinson. I firmly believe that. I watched too many games of Zac Robinson calling plays for the Dirty Birds. I am so happy he is going to be out of the building. I am just elated. I don't think anybody could quite possibly get worse than what Zac Robinson did. It was terrible. And it just looked like some Pop Warner college-style Oklahoma State BS that you would run if you had a dominant college offensive line and you were playing the school of the blind and deaf. He just never really truly utilized the play action or the deep game of Michael Penix, both of which, one, super important in the NFL game, I don't know if you've noticed, and number two, was Michael Penix's best trait coming out of college. Michael can throw the deep ball. Did we see the deep ball? No. Part of that is because the Falcons' wide receiver room literally consists of Drake London and then everybody else. And yes, that includes Darnell Mooney. But if you want even more evidence as to why I think it literally cannot get worse with anybody calling plays outside of Zac Robinson, just take a look at this. Third down and short conversion rates in the 2025 season. Look who's at the top right. Oh, yeah, that's the Seattle Seahawks with Klint Kubiak. And take a look where the Falcons are. Kind of right center, but lower right center. So this is not great for the Falcons. It's not awful, but the Seahawks are far and away better than anybody on this list. And then let's move on a little bit further to offensive EPA gained on third down. So EPA, expected points average on or expected points per play, essentially. It's kind of a weird metric, but this is what you need to know. Your EPA, the higher it is, the more efficient your offense is. So this is your EPA gained on third down. The Falcons were way down at the bottom at minus 57.3. That is some of the worst in the entire NFL, with the Titans and the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy and the Jets only being slightly below Atlanta. And then, okay, so Seattle wasn't in the top half of the league, but they're like right at that line. And remember, Sam Darnold is turnover prone. Michael Penix is not nearly as turnover prone as Sam Darnold is. So if he was doing that with Sam Darnold, who's known to throw a bunch of picks, imagine what he could do with a mold of clay that is Michael Penix Jr. Zach was just way too predictable, though, as evidenced by both of those charts, our eye test, and everything that we saw. He telegraphed what he was going to do. It'd be 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1, and they'd line up in the pistol, and even the announcers would say, here comes a run to Tyler Algier, or here comes a run to Bijan Robinson. Defenses stack the box, they take away the run, and then boom, you're punting again. Kubiak has so much more creativity than Zach does. He's not nearly as predictable. He runs under center. He can bite defenses off the play action. It just opens up so much more room to utilize your playmakers because it's a real NFL offense. It's a pro-style offense, which we did not run. We ran pistol. We ran gun. And fine, that's great for certain packages. You have to be able to run under center. Something that Zac Robinson never did until Kirk got into the game. And then all of a sudden, hey, there's a real NFL offense there. But by that point, it's too late. So I'm glad Zach's out of the building. Get this guy in the building. Look at how good he looks in Falcons red. Come on. Kubiak's the guy. You know it. I know it. O'Connell knows it, or Connell knows it. And he's a Giants fan, so he definitely knows it. Before we get on out of here, hit that sub button. Let's get to 50K. Come on. Come on, y'all. Let's get to 50K before the Falcons head coach gets named, and I'm praying to God that it's Klint Kubiak. I'll be back a little bit later today with more updates surrounding your Dirty Birds. My name is Moose. Happy Thursday, Falcons fans. Rise up and be cool.